Welcome back, everybody. So this series is going to be something vastly different than what we've done in the past. As you know, at the shop, we love doing product installs. We love showing you guys what we do here at the shop. We love working on our Jeeps. Me and Bob have built a great friendship over building our Jeeps and then taking trips and stuff with them. We haven't taken a trip in a while, so this is going to be a really, really big trip. But unfortunately, I'm firing Bob, and he can't come on this trip. When I say I'm firing him, and just not his type of trip. So this is a trip that's been on my bucket list for, I don't know, I guess as long as I can possibly remember. And this is a trip that I've been planning and putting into place for almost 2 years. So we are going to go over to Europe. We are going to rent motorcycles, and we are going to travel all over Europe. Someday I would like to ship my Jeep over there and go do a huge trip through Europe with our Jeep, and me and Bob have talked about it a few times. So I'm going to call this 1, like a vacation. 2, there is some business things I would like to deal with over there. And then 3, I would also like to maybe scout out some cool places to go take our Jeeps at some point. So this is kind of just be like a long, fun trip. But I'm going to rent a motorcycle and do all of this on motorcycle. I'm going to be on a motorcycle for 30 days. That being said, Bob doesn't ride bikes. I don't know if he probably even could ride a motorcycle. No clue. I know he likes his e-bikes. So I had to find somebody different to take this trip with me, and I couldn't think of anybody better than my brother. He's my older brother, my older little brother, because he's short. We've both been riding motorcycles our whole entire life. Literally, our parents got us into it at a very, very early age. We were riding adventure touring style bikes. So we're gonna do a lot of backroad stuff, maybe a little bit of off-road type stuff. And we're gonna avoid all the touristy crap that most people would probably typically go to. We wanna get a real feel of the countries that we're gonna be in. And so this video today is basically just kind of telling you like why we're doing what we're doing, how we're putting it all together. And I'm here to tell you the logistics on putting a trip like this together is insane. There is a lot that goes into putting a trip like this together, financially, time-wise, planning, renting bikes, all sorts of crap. So I'll do a different video on that, because if you ever are going to plan a trip like this, I think when we got into making this idea, we had no clue what we were getting into. As with most things I do, I just jump in 2 feet first and swim and figure it out. So that's what this video series is going to be. We are just going to head over to Europe. We're going to ride some motorcycles. We're going to check out some super cool, non-traditional type stuff, and see what kind of trouble we can get into without getting into trouble, because I would rather not be in trouble in a different country. That'd be horrible. So follow along, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. So there's a few things to take into consideration when you're planning a trip of this nature. So the logistics behind putting a trip like this together can seem to be a little overwhelming. In the beginning, I would scratch the thought process of trying to figure like what you want to do, where you want to go, all that. That's irrelevant. You can figure that all out the day you get there. That's really not the big problem. The big problem is you need to figure out transportation. For us, we knew we wanted to rent motorcycles, and there's really only a few companies over in Europe we could find that would let us rent a bike for a full month. Cost is not as bad as you would think it's gonna be, but it depends on the type of bike you want and if you're leaving their country. So we rented bikes. We had to wire transfer over deposits. We had to get international insurance to cover the bike and to cover us. We got international health insurance as well, which there's only a few companies that offer that, because heaven forbid you get over there and there's something wrong, or you get sick, or appendicitis, anything. Like, you could just have anything happen. You need some sort of medical coverage to be able to go to the hospitals there. A lot of the countries will have public health insurance hospitals, and they will also have private hospitals. I would rather probably not go to the public hospitals, so I got my own independent policy that allows us to go to the better hospitals. Then you need an international driver's license. You need to get that sorted out. You need a passport. If you don't have a passport, or if it needs to be renewed, you need to leave several months in advance time frame. You need to leave like 2 to 3 months to be able to get your passport, because that's a lengthy process. And right now the US is really backed up on getting their passports out to people. Luckily we knew we were planning this long time ago, so we got that done way ahead of schedule. Then, if you're gonna take a trip on a motorcycle, the next thing that you think about is, we have no room to take anything. Literally, we have no room. And we don't wanna go there and deal with, I would say, second-rate riding gear. I want my own helmet with my own sweat and my own funk. That being said, I have a really nice helmet for riding at home in America, but the problem is it's not certified to be used in Europe. So I had to get a new helmet that's certified to be used in Europe. Another fun fact, through all the research we were doing, we found out that you're required to have gloves on your motorcycle in a lot of these countries. Doesn't mean you have to wear them, but you have to have them, and they have to be certified for use in the European Union. So we bought new gloves. We already had jackets. I didn't really have a good pair of boots for this, so I bought a new pair of boots and I wore them for like a month to get them broken in. And then you can't take a lot of clothes. Like, I'm gonna wear a pair of pants, I'm gonna take a pair of pants. I'm gonna take 5 or 6 t-shirts, but they're gonna get nasty. I've done big bike trips in the US. One of our cheats we do is we go buy a package of brand new white t-shirts, and then after you use sunblock and the road dirt and the sweat and everything, at the end of the day, that white shirt's trashed. So we just throw it away, and the next day we grab a clean white t-shirt. When you run out, you go buy another $8 package of white t-shirts. It's no big deal. Packed a couple pairs of shorts, pair of swim trunks, and honestly, that's it. My toiletries, which are actually in my helmet bag. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna pack this all up in a minute, because we're 2 dudes on 2 motorcycles for 30 days with no room to take anything. On the flip side, if there's something we're missing or something we have, it's a developed nation over there. We can buy whatever we need anywhere we go. So I'm gonna take 2 GoPros. I have a battery pack, some extra SD cards because I won't have any way to unload the footage off the cards. I'm gonna have to do it when I get home. Whether it's me or Bob making the videos, I have no idea. And fun thing is Bob's going to Europe too, but he's gonna be there and our paths aren't gonna cross. Unfortunately, we weren't able to put that together, but he's gotta go there for some work. So now I'm gonna go show you what I'm basically taking, how I'm packing, and then we gotta go pick my brother up and head to the airport. All right, so here's what we're doing for packing. These are my new riding boots. They're actually riding boots. They have the little discs right here for like ankle support. They zip up. So nothing super fancy, but they're just riding boots. I'm taking a backpack. Right now it's just full of snacks because I'm gonna be on a plane for 14 hours. In this front pouch, I have all of my film equipment and charge cords and battery packs. This here, I am using half of this bag for my clothes, and that's it. I literally have just a stack of clothes, small stack. These are cleaning wipes for lenses and for our helmets, so we can keep our helmets clean. I have a bunch of motorcycle handlebar phone mounts. I'm letting my brother borrow one. And then this is my helmet in my helmet bag. So nothing super fancy, helmet bag, but if you look inside the helmet, I packed everything, all my toiletries, Q-tips, flossers, toothbrush, everything's in my helmet because it's just dead space, you might as well use it. So one of my fears on this trip is that if we lost something that was super important in the flight. So we're flying out of Detroit into France, we have a couple hour delay, and then we're gonna fly into Prague. And the reason we chose to fly into Prague is because it had one of the facilities that will rent motorcycles for 30 days. So we're gonna fly into Prague, pick up our motorcycles, and then from there we have basically 29 days to do whatever we want. I want my helmet, I want my jacket, and I want my boots and my gloves. That's like super important to me. If they lost my clothes, I wouldn't even care. I would just go to the nearest Walmart and go buy 2 pairs of pants and some shirts, socks, and underwear, and that's fine, I don't care. So what we opted to do is we bought new helmets, we bought these new helmet bags. That's gonna be our check bag. That's gonna go in the overhead console. My backpack will stay with me. It's gonna have all my paperwork, my extra money, extra credit card, all my passports, film equipment, all that stuff. And then we're gonna he's gonna put some of his stuff in the check bag. I'm gonna put some of my stuff in the check bag. We're just gonna check one bag for the both of us. Because again, we're on motorcycles. How much stuff can you possibly carry? If they lost that one bag that we do check under the belly of the plane, it's just clothes. So we don't even care. So that's kind of the method we went about that. Now, interesting thing is that our jackets, they're big. Motorcycle riding jackets are big, and they don't fit in the overhead console with our helmet bags because it has to be contained, and it's obviously not gonna fit in my backpack. So we're actually just gonna wear our motorcycle jackets in through the airport, through security, the whole 9 yards. When we get on the plane, we can probably just take them off and like put them in between us or something. So we've had to really think about some of these things and cut back everything that we want to take. Like I only counted out enough Q-tips for the trip. I don't just take a huge package of Ziploc or Q-tips and stuff like that. We had to buy smaller bottles of deodorant, smaller bottles of cologne. Last minute I realized I don't have any small bottles of toothpaste. I'll just buy that when I get there. So we really had to make sure we toned everything down we're taking. I'm not taking a lot of film equipment, but I'm taking enough to like basically fill up the front of my backpack. And then I guess that's it. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of more things because I didn't really make a checklist to talk about crap. So as we go, I can maybe throw some more tidbits in there. So now I'm going to have my boy Blake. He's going to not go on this trip. He's going to stay here and help Eric run the business. And we're going to go pick up my brother and head to the airport. We got to get there a few hours early because we have to check a bag and get plane tickets, get through TSA. I'm probably going to stop and pick up some little shooters of vodka to take on the plane. I'll show you that when we get on the plane. Well, just got to my brother's. Cat's greeting us at the door. Oh my God. Hold on. Hey Bob, you're gonna have to edit that out.
Take two.
All right, we're here at my brother's house. See if he's ready to go get on an airplane.
About time you showed up.
You ready to get on an airplane?
Yep.
So
we're delayed for about 4 hours, but I'm ready.
Yeah, so fun fact, we found out that we were supposed to fly out at 6:30. We just got a text message saying our plane doesn't leave till 10:30.
All right.
So do we start drinking early or do we go shoot guns?
Can Blake drive?
Yeah, Blake's driving.
We can drink now and shoot guns.
All right, everybody, that's my brother Brian. You're gonna get used to seeing him in like every video for the next few weeks or however long this whole series goes. So I've already enlightened everybody on the trip, what it takes to get prepared for the trip, like all the licenses and the insurance and all the crap. What are you looking forward to on the trip? Bob, you might have to edit that out too.
Dude, because I was gonna say
Hey Bob, you have to edit that out. Anything that makes you nervous?
Yeah, all the traffic and the drivers in other countries.
And the fact that we're vulnerable around motorcycles, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous enough here in Michigan, let alone 14 different countries.
Literally. So that's a very valid thing. I think for the most part, we're always going to be on the right-hand side of the road, so I don't think that's a concern, because if that was to take place, that would become...
Did you see the road conditions in Albania?
Yeah, I know. That's why we're not riding Harleys or something. We got adventure touring bikes, because even when you're on-road, it might be like being off-road, right?
We might as well be off-roading the entire time we're in Albania. I mean...
It's a good thing we know how to ride dirt bikes.
Bosnia? I mean, I think there's still bomb craters in the roads.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Anything you're looking forward to?
So months off from work.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, just to actually take a real vacation where you actually get to understand their culture, not just show up for 5-6 days and leave.
Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to the fact that when we started planning the trip, we both agreed we weren't interested in your typical traditional touristy stuff. Like we want to go see like the Transylvania castles, but we want to go see some of the cool architecture from the old Eastern parts of Europe. We weren't worried about the western parts of Europe.
Not just that, but when we did the maps and all this stuff and started laying out the trip, the first thing we clicked was avoid all highways.
Yep.
So the goal, other than the Autobahn, is to never hit a highway the whole time we're gone.
Yeah, we want to see all the small villages and the mom and pop restaurants and the mom and pop little hostels and hotels and whatever. Like, we don't care about the touristy crap. We want to just go experience the real country, the real countryside, the real people, and the food. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'd say the vacation and the food part of it. Yeah, being gone for 30 days in food for sure.
So I'm not a picky eater, but I'm not a good foodie type person. He's a big foodie. He loves all sorts of weird, crazy stuff, which is awesome because
spicy too.
And he likes spicy too, and I like very bland food. So it's kind of cool for me because I'm also going to my brother. He knows what I've ate my whole entire life, so if we're going somewhere, he can taste something and be like, oh my God, this will light your mouth on fire. Don't even try it. So that's kind of cool. And my palate's gotten a lot better because of my girlfriend and because of him, because he makes me eat stuff all the time I wouldn't normally try. And it's just amazing. So I'm looking forward to having that experience and fun.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the fact that we picked bikes we've never rode.
Yeah.
And that actually they're two motorcycles that we potentially could be interested in buying.
Yeah. So I'm getting a Honda Africa Twin. I've been wanting to buy one for years, but I really don't have a reason to buy it, so I just haven't. And then you're getting
Yamaha Tracer 9 GT.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna be on some pretty cool bikes, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And they're bikes that we like.
The Yamaha Tracer 9 is actually, I'm trying to decide if I want to go back to a standard big cruising bike or if I want to go more like the adventure bike.
Yeah.
For my motorcycle here in Michigan.
Yep.
So I think after 30 days of on an adventure bike, I'll know.
Yeah, well, you're going to know if you absolutely love it or hate it, right? And if you do like it, but maybe there's some things you like about the bikes, at least if you're going to go look at a different bike, you'd know pros and cons of what you do like.
Right.
So I think it's just going to be a fun adventure. There's not very many people I would want to travel with for 30 days other than Bob.
I don't have anyone I want to travel with 30 days. He's just the only one that would go with me.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to go into. Is like, you're about the only one that would go. Mom said I could take you, so. All right, so we're going to cause hell and havoc for a few hours since our plane got delayed, and we'll be back in a little bit. So again, we have many hours to kill because of our flight being delayed. So my son, being basically growing up here most of his life because this is his uncle's house, decides he's going to start breaking motorcycles out of the garage. My brother just bought this. It's a Honda Navi. Bought this for his kids and girlfriend to cruise around on. Bought it from College Bike Shop, brand new. But riding the brand new bike's not good enough. My son decides to break out my brother's really super sweet custom built Yamaha XS 650 street tracker. And they're out riding right now. My brother's on his TW200. My son stole the big bike. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it gets back. Really super sweet custom bike we built many years ago. Oh, I can hear him coming. So there's the 650 he just got done taking for his spin. What'd you think, son?
That is impressive, and it's just smooth linear power, and it's a hoot. I've had a smile since I got on it.
Permagrin.
It is awesome.
All right, that's enough horseplay. Let's head to the airport. All right, we're at the airport. We're like 3 hours early. It's his fault. So we're sitting at the bar, gonna have copious amounts of drinks. Wish us luck. Boom! We're getting on an airplane.
Time to go to France.
Finally.